Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Let's go. Welcome to Vegan Intel. Health is wealth, so take care of yourself. Hope everybody's doing great. It's all the way up. It is all the way up. Good to see you, Rasta Man. Good to see you, Danielle. Well, it is National Wellness Month. National Wellness Month. August. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It is National Wellness Month. We're going hard this month with health and wellness. This is very important. I want everybody to come over and subscribe. And let's get it popping. I'm on this health journey. I've been a plant-based vegan for 47 years, going on 48 years. But I am not a spring chicken anymore. And eating right is very important. But from my early 40s until recently, I haven't added the exercise, okay? I haven't added the workout, the exercise to the program. And eating well is very, very important. It's really the most important thing when it comes to health. It's the most important thing because you can get sleep, you can exercise, but if you're not putting the right gas in the vehicle, it's not going to run like you want the vehicle to run. And your body is your automobile. Your body is your vehicle. So you have to keep the right gas in the tank because your body is your vehicle. You got to make sure it's running. You got to make sure it's running on all cylinders. And so encourage all your friends and people to subscribe to this channel. We got to get more people over here. We got to get more people interested in their health and eating better. All the other stories are great. All the other information is great to know too. What's going on in the world, what's going on with the weather, what's going on in social media. But we got to get people on the right track to eating right. If we don't get people in the mind state of eating right, it would allow big industry to destroy our food because they won't get any pushback because people will just eat it regardless. So they'll be able to put out just any old type of food because people will eat it regardless. And so I'm going to increase my content over here. I don't have that many viewers yet. And I'm putting content out slowly because when you don't have that many viewers, if I put out some content and I put out some more content, it might step on each other. But I'm going to let that happen, and I'm going to turn up And on some days, I'm going to be putting out 2 live streams a day over here. I could have put this out yesterday, but I felt like it would step on the information I put out, and I need every viewer I can get to watch every bit of content I'm putting out. I'm trying to get to a certain amount of subscribers before I start doing interviews. I did one interview. I'm gonna do a few more, but I don't really want to ask the big names in plant-based veganism to come over until I at least got a decent audience for them. I don't want to waste their time, and I don't want to use them to build the network. I want to build it myself. I got a friend that's overweight. I don't know her, but I kind of feel like I know her. She's on social media, and I'm going to be talking to her tomorrow, trying to talk her into starting a channel and to try to get her to come out of her shell and go live and tell everybody everything about her situation to help others. And I'm going to be doing interviews with people talking about those type of situations. It's going to get real heavy over here. It's going to be heavy. This is not going to be like any of the other plant-based vegan channels. It's going to be very different. Okay, it's going to be groundbreaking over here. So try to get people to subscribe if you know, and everybody that you know that has health issues. If your parents or anybody you know have health issues, and if they're on social media in any kind of way, whether it's Facebook or whatever, your dad, your mom, when you go by, you get their phone and you put the YouTube app on their phone and you get them a YouTube account and you subscribe them to this channel. That way, grandpa or dad or mom, it's easy for them. They can click on and they can watch me. And I can help grandpa and I can help mom or granddaddy or dad or your sister that's overweight. I can help them. Okay? I can even interview them, bring them over so we can talk about what's going on. It's an open community over here designed to help. This is not set up to be meat versus vegan. That's not what I do. I want to bring the realities about health situations. And, there's people eating a whole bunch of cookies and donuts and bread and stuff too, that they got to cut that stuff. Candy, drinking a whole bunch of sodas, eating a whole bunch of unhealthy things. These things have to be eliminated. And we have to eliminate these things now because we're going to hit a wall. We're going to hit a wall. Okay? We're going to hit a wall if we don't turn this around. Okay? We are going to hit a wall if we don't turn the ship around. No ifs, ands, or buts. This is a 911 YouTube channel. Okay? Those that watch me on my other personal channel, you know, I wild out, have fun all over the place, get serious, get angry. But over here, this is different. This is 100% seriousness, and this is 100% to help. 100%. This whole channel is going to be livicated because we don't dedicate, right? We don't dead. We're trying to live. So this channel was livicated to helping people do better. That's what I want to do. We want to try to cut back some of these catastrophes that people are facing because of health issues. Because we're headed to an epidemic. Trust me. We're headed to an epidemic. And many of you are young. Almost all of you are younger than I am. And there has to be some changes. Many of you are younger than I am. And you got to do better. You have to do better. You're on your own, and you are actually the ones that can make the change. Okay? When it comes to our health and things like that, takes grassroots. This takes people, regular citizens, to make this change. You can't depend on the government. You can't depend on politicians, movie stars, athletes. This is something common people have to do. And this is all over the world. Much respect to Europe, because Europe is a little more conscious than America and have cracked down on artificial colors, artificial sweets, preservatives. They've done a pretty good job. Whereas America, as you see here, American kids have become increasingly unhealthy over nearly 2 decades. New study finds on July 7, 2025 at 11:01 a.m. the health of U.S. children has deteriorated over the past 17 years, with kids today more likely to have obesity, chronic disease, and mental health problems like depression, a new study says. So people are not doing well. Not doing well. Now, by some metrics, Americans are slowly trying to become more healthy. But overall, we're not doing so well. Seriously, you all, it's not a joke. Let's look at the facts. In the past half century, Nutrition scientists have blamed health conditions such as obesity, diabetes, and heart disease on many features of the American diet, including sugary beverages and saturated fat. These factors surely contribute to Americans' uniquely poor health. But Kevin Hall, the NIH study principal investigator, was researching a possible culprit that wasn't named until the 21st century: ultra processed foods. The problem, Hall believed, might have less to do with high levels of sodium and cholesterol than with industrial techniques and chemical modifications. From this perspective, homemade jam on painted gonuses would be fine. Smuckers on Wonder Bread would not. Even if it contained less sugar and fat, the thesis is that we've been focusing too strongly on the individual nutritional components of food, Hall told me. We're starting to learn that processing really matters. In recent years, dozens of studies have linked ultra processed fair health problems such as high blood pressure and heart attacks, and also to some problems that one might not expect: cancer, anxiety, dementia, early death. One analysis found that women who ate the most ultra processed foods were 50% more likely to become depressed than those who ate the least. Another found that men who consumed more had substantially higher rates of colon cancer. Most of these studies controlled for confounding factors such as income, physical activity, and other medical conditions. A focus on food's level of processing can lead to odd conclusions, however. Julie Hess, a research nutritionist at the U.S. Department of Agriculture, has pointed out that ultra processed food puts canned kidney beans and gummy bears into the same category. Processing also has some benefit. It prevents food from going bad and being contaminated during storage and transport. It allows more people to eat convenient and varied meals. Even particular foods are not in season, and it helps the world feed a growing population. Walter Willett, a Harvard professor who may be the most cited nutrition researcher in the world, argues that studies like Hall's are worse than worthless. They are misleading. He prefers to focus on combinations of food that people eat over time and advocates for plant-based, whole foods, and the Mediterranean diet. So as you can see, the situation is a little bleak. Okay? As you can see. I have to save this information because many times when I'm doing these live streams, I have to pull this information up again. And so that's what I'm going to be over here doing. It's National Wellness Month, so all this month we'll really be pushing all the different aspects of wellness. Many, many, many people are dealing with this. And it's not a joke. People are finding out, but they're finding out the hard way. They're finding out after they're subjects to these problems. According to the American Cancer Society, the estimated cancer incident rate in the United States for 2022 was all cancers 461.4 per 100,000 people. Male cancers 547.9 per 100,000 people. Female cancers 374.9 per 1,000 people. The most common types of cancer diagnosed in the U.S. in 2022 were lung and bronchus, prostate for men, breast for women, colon and rectal, and melanoma. Okay? It's not a game. So you got to try to eat foods that will help as much as possible prevent the cancer. And how it prevents the cancer is if this is cancerous, once you replace this for this, you're automatically fighting cancer. Also, if you're eating cancerous food that does things to the body, plants began to fix the problems. So plants help prevent problems. Why? By not adding to the problem and by fighting against the problem. Okay? It's two sides to that. All right? Plants help heal the problem. You understand? And so it's more than just going vegan. It's about replacing things that are going to make you sick and replacing them with things that don't make you sick, fight against sickness, and help repair sickness. Okay? Okay? Let me say that again. It's about dealing with things that don't make you sick, help fight against you making you sick, and repair. Okay? That's what it does. So it does 2 to 3 things when you eat healthy. Okay? When you eat healthy, it stops you from eating unhealthy. You understand? In other words, it doesn't make you get sick. Okay? It helps you get healthier. It helps you stop from getting sick. And it repairs the damage that was done. You understand what I'm saying? So you got children, they out here running around in a toxic society. You have no idea what's going on in our society. So by giving them vegetables and fruits, you are unconsciously going in there, preventing them from eating more toxic stuff, and also fixing and repairing any damage that you might not know is occurring. Because we live in a toxic society where damage is constantly occurring, constantly. So just because I've been plant based for 47 years doesn't mean anything. I've had something happen to me and had to go to the hospital. They gave me blood. That blood was probably most likely contaminated. And so, me being plant based, how many years has my body now been trying to clean my blood from whatever blood they gave me? You understand? So you could still have problems. You can still be in a toxic environment. You can still have toxic soil around your house. You can still have toxic pollution in the air around your house. You can still have something going on with the canned food you've been eating and it's been contaminating your beans and stuff out your cans and you didn't know. These plants were put on this planet to cure. They have a natural curing agent. Plants clean the soil. They got plants that you can plant in toxic soil and it will remove all that out the soil. So if plants can remove the toxic waste out of the soil, plants can remove the toxic waste out of your system. Okay. This is why they ask you to grow plants in your homes, because these plants that you grow in your home keep your home clean. This is something I'm going to be working on over the next month before fall comes, because I don't have any plants in my office. And I'm going to be going and getting plants in here. I need plants, and I need certain plants in here, right? To always make sure that my environment is clean, to always make sure that my environment is not toxic, to make sure that my air is always being clean. You see what I'm trying to tell you all? This is something I got to do. All right. So I've given you a lot of great information over here. So I have people subscribe. Right. Now, there are certain plants you might want to get into your home. I'm going to show you the ones you need to get. There are certain plants that you need to be getting into your homes to clean the air, to make sure the air is clean, right? So that you could be a little more comfortable in your living quarters especially if you got babies. If you got babies, you know, you want to look out for your children. You want to make sure while they're running around and crawling around on the floor and playing, that there's something there to help them, right? So for Wellness Month, before this month is over, go out and get these plants. Several house plants are known for their ability to absorb toxins from the air, a process called phytoremediation. Phytoremediation. These plants can help improve indoor air quality by removing harmful chemicals like formaldehyde, benzene, and xylene. Popular choices include the snake plant, peace lily, English ivy, and the spider plant. I'm going to get a snake plant and the spider plants in here, right? But I might get the peace lily too. But I'm going to do some investigations and see which ones are easiest to grow and which ones are really beautiful and really green. And before this month is over, I will be showing you what I bought, what I purchased. I am going to purchase these plants, right? I've been wanting to do it for a while. I've been slipping because that's something I should have been done already, right? I've been advising it to the women in my life, like my daughters, my exes, and stuff like that. But I got to do it myself. On top of that, there's things that you can consume that typically will help you fight against cancer. Carrots, berries, nuts, broccoli, beans, cinnamon, citrus fruit, turmeric, flaxseed, garlic, tomatoes, olive oil, spinach, and whole grains. These are things that you can consume, right, that will help you fight against cancer. You do that mixed with stopping eating cancerous products. If you eliminate the artificial flavors, artificial colors, preservatives, a lot of the processed meats for sure, and then you add these things, you can reverse some damage that you might have already done to your body. And listen to me. Every 7 years, you get all new blood cells, right? 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. If you are 35 and older, you're heading to the era of 42, 49, 56, 63, 70. If you're overweight and you're a teen, 20, 30s, get that weight off of you. But if you're over 35 and you are overweight, you are smoking, or you're eating a bunch of junk, do you realize that your body is to the position now it cannot fight that? You have to turn it around. Everybody should turn it around. But listen to me, if you're 35, you're a young man, you used to be in school, you played football or basketball, you was in shape, and now you're a little sloppy. You kind of sat back and let the gut go and kind of focus. But you're 35. Your body was still building. Your body not building no more. So now these things are going to tear you down. You do not want to blink and 20 years go by and now you got all these medical problems. It's just like the dentist. You don't brush your teeth. You don't take care of your teeth. It gets to a point you got to go to the dentist. Now you got dentures, or you got teeth you got to screw in. You got to go through all of this nonsense when all you had to do was baking soda and certain things to your teeth to keep them as clean as you possibly can to try to save your teeth as long as you can. And one of the things that saved my teeth was being plant-based, because I wasn't grinding them down with candy and sweets. So if I ate some vegetables and forget to brush my teeth and go to sleep, there's really nothing in there that's going to just put holes in my teeth, like sugar, white sugar, hard candy, sweets all between my teeth, because I never really ate a lot of sweets, and that saved my teeth. I don't have not a fake tooth in my mouth. See what I'm saying? All I have to do is go for a deep cleansing or cleaning, which I'm going to do, but I'm a little paranoid about doctors and dentists, and that's a whole nother video for another day. But I got to go do it and have my fingers crossed, because I just don't trust the medical industry, to be honest with you. So you got to fight against cancer. You got to lose weight. The weight's not going to get it, okay? It's not cute. It's not healthy. You got to lose the weight. So get some apples in your body. Summer's not over. Get some watermelon, some walnut. Eat some oranges with seeds, cherries. Grapefruit is great. Grapefruit will help burn fat. If you're trying to lose weight, you're working out. Grapefruit in the morning will help a lot. Tomatoes, pomegranate. The pomegranate is going to give you the nitric oxide. It's going to help you men with your sexual prowess. It's going to help your stamina in bed. It's going to help your circulation. Women, it's going to help your circulation in your body. And you need circulation for your breast and your vagina and your heart and your hearing. And your whole body is based off of circulation, right? Pears help break down the weight. Lemon, things like lemon, things like grapefruit. These things burn fat. Apple cider vinegar. These things burn fat. Pineapple, cantaloupe, bananas, avocado. Avocado is going to give you that healthy fat. Coconut is going to give you that healthy protein, that healthy oil in your body that's going to keep your body lubricated. Berries do a billion things. Berries do a billion things. If you look at the earth, why are berries just hanging in a natural planet? Why berries are everything? Because these are very important for us to consume. So if you're trying to lose weight, hey, get some fruits in your body and cut back all of that cakes and pies and cookies and candy. Why are you eating candy? Eat cherries. Why are you eating fake candy named after fruit that's got artificial flavors, but they call it apple candy and cherry candy and lemon candy? Why are you eating like chocolate with all these ingredients in it? Where you could go to the store, ladies, you can get some dark chocolate with nothing in it but a little cane sugar. You can come on, put a pot on the stove, throw that chocolate in there, melt it, and make you the best candy ever. You can put what you want in it. I make candy all the time. I get dark chocolate. I get pomegranates. I take the little red parts out. I wash them good. I put the chocolate, melt the chocolate, and I throw the pomegranate kernels in there and let it get hard. And I got the best nitric oxide ever. But I could do that. I could grate up coconut, melt the chocolate, throw that coconut in there. If I want, I could throw some coconut in there, some cashews, or pistachio nuts or whatever. Then let it get hard, and I got the best candy ever. That candy be so good. I think I need to do a live over here and make candy live. I think I'll do that. That'll be great. Right? I think I'll make some candy live for y'all. I think that'll be a great live stream. Very productive, very encouraging. Right? So weight loss. Then your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Health with your eyes. My vision, I got great sight, but when I was reading, it was getting a little blurry. And I've been increasing certain things. And sometime when I put my reading glass on, it's blurry because my eyes are healing. My eyes are absolutely healing because things were getting a little blurry. That's like nearsightedness. And so sometimes I wear my reading glasses. But a couple of times I've been live, I got my reading glass on, I couldn't see. And I took my glasses off and I could see perfectly. Now I forgot what I was consuming at that time, but it'll come back to me. But something was clearing up my eyesight. Good to see you, Stefan. Something was clearing up my eyesight. So whatever it is, I'm gonna figure it out and I'm gonna go back to it. Cherries help calm your nervous system. Grapes relax your blood vessels. Peaches are rich in potassium fluoride and iron. Apples help your body develop resistance against infection. When they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away, they're not kidding. And I've been laxed on my apple consumption because I've been eating so much different things, but I'm going to make an effort this fall to eat an apple at least 2 or 3 times a week. I'm going to make it a part of my regimen. I like the Honey Crisp. But what happens, I buy apples, I'll eat one and I'll forget it, and the other ones will sit there. Because one of the main problems you have plant-based is you're trying to run so many things through your body, it's impossible to run them all. So you end up laxing on this one or laxing on that one because it's really hard to really just get all this stuff to your body. But you have to work and remember to go back to certain items. Watermelon. This summer, I've yet to drive out south and get me 2 watermelons, but I have had a watermelon, but I've yet to drive out south with the watermelon man out there and get me 2 or 3 watermelons. I'm going to have to do it before they leave. So I'm going to have to go out there and get 2 or 3 of them, but I've had a couple, but not as many as I should. Oranges. I can't find any oranges with seeds. So here in Chicago, I can't find oranges with seeds in them. So I got to try to figure that out or really shop hard and try to find out if there's anywhere in Chicago that has them. But I haven't seen oranges with seeds in years. Strawberries. Strawberries are pretty common. And you could get those and be eating those, blending those up in your drinks. Bananas, I eat bananas often. Pineapple, I do eat throughout the year. Within a year, I will eat at least 2 or 3 pineapples, but pineapples be tearing my mouth up sometimes, make my mouth irritated. So I have to be really careful. But because I be a savage and I be trying to eat it and I be scraping my mouth on the skin, so peel my I gotta peel my pineapple and cut it up and stop eating like I'm Tarzan. Blueberries, uh, that's gonna be heavy for me this winter. I'm going to be increasing my blueberry drinks. I'm going to be blending up lots of blueberries, drinking them right down. Kiwi is something that I haven't been eating hardly none in my life, but I have a friend that eats them all the time, all week. So I got to go ahead and run them through my body. I try to run everything through my body. Mangoes I eat often. When they have the mangoes come in at Whole Foods, I eat mangoes rather often. But these are good for your eye health. Those fruits I just named. When it comes to your eyes, you really got to eat in a way that helps your eyes. Now, nuts are always great for many things. So almonds are great for your eyes. Walnuts are great for your eyes. Okay. These are great for your eyes. Almonds and walnuts. When it comes to watermelon, watermelon is a superfood. Okay. Look at the minerals in it: potassium, phosphorus, magnesium, calcium, sodium, iron, zinc, copper, manganese, folate, vitamin A, vitamin B2, vitamin 1, vitamin B6, vitamin E, vitamin B3, vitamin B5, vitamin B4, vitamin C, protein, fat, carbohydrates, raises your energy level. Watermelon is a superfood. Watermelon is a superfood. And the rind, the white part on the rind, you need that. It's got the citrulline that's going to help you, brothers, with your sexual strength, right? And at my age of 67, you need all that you can, because when you get an older age, your sexual strength is going to go down because your body knows you ain't making no more babies. So your body is not going to make you to make babies. Your body know, okay, you are too old to be having a lot of babies, so you don't need this. You don't need a high sperm count. For what? See what I'm saying? You got to look at everything from nature. So I'm 67, so my body like, you don't need no high sperm count for what? You're supposed to have grandbabies already. Your body's like already made a certain kind of way. So now you got to do something extra for that. You have to do something extra to suffice for that. Because your body is going to take away one thing and add something different. So as you age as a man, your body's going to say, okay, you don't need this, right? Okay, you need this for your bones. So the body's going to start transferring things to your bones so that your bones won't be all fragile, because now your bones could get fragile. So your body like, well, you don't need to be having a lot of sex. You 70. You need strong bones. The body will shift. It knows what it's doing. So it'll take a lot of that nutrients that would go to increasing your sperm count. It will send that into bone production. Nobody gonna tell you this but me. I use common sense. I haven't read that anywhere. That's not a fact in science. But as far as common sense goes, to me, that makes more common sense. So as you get older and your body starts sending nutrients to suffice what you really need as an older age, if you're not bringing in a lot of nutrients, you're going to have a nutrient deficiency, because if it shifts like some vitamin A for this, it might not leave enough vitamin A for what it was originally for. So you're going to have to make sure you're getting enough vitamin A, enough vitamin C, enough vitamin B. You're going to have to make sure you're getting all your vitamins. So as your body starts shifting vitamins to work for different things as you age, it leaves enough behind for the original thing. So you can still be strong sexually. So you can still have your eyesight. So you can still have good heart health. This is why when you buy certain vitamins, the vitamins I buy, they got plus 40, because the plus 40 vitamins got a little bit more of each vitamin in it than the regular. Yeah, I tell young people all the time, buy the plus 40 if you're buying a certain type of vitamin. Buy plus 40. Go ahead and get the extra now. Why would you wait until you're over 40? Why would you do that? If it's a better vitamin, get it while you're young. One thing you can do to help yourself is work out at home. Gardening. One of the reasons our great grandparents and grandparents lived so long, because they stayed in the garden. They worked on the farm. They were getting natural exercise. They were bending, lifting, squatting, standing, bending, lifting, squatting, standing, walking. So farming and gardening is a natural exercise that you're doing without paying attention. If you look at these exercises, farming, you end up doing all of these exercises that's here. Because it say cleaning the house. Farming, you're going to be doing the same exercise as cleaning. Farming, you're going to be doing these same positions. How do I feel about pets to help for health? Pets can have parasites. I wouldn't advise the average person to get pets unless you're somebody standing on parasites 1,000%, because pets are going to bring parasites into your home. Dogs and cats have parasites. And them parasites going to be all in your carpet and all on your couch. So you got, when it comes to animals, I mean, you got to be on a whole nother level. Okay. You understand? So when you start talking about pets, they got parasites. So you're going to have to deworm them, and you're going to have to deworm yourself often. Look, yes, pets can and often do have parasites. Both internal and external parasites are common in cats and dogs. So they got parasites in them and parasites on them. And some even can pose a risk to humans. Internal parasites, these include various worms, roundworms, hookworms, whipworms, and tapeworms, and single cell organisms like Giardia and Coccidia that live in the intestines. External parasites, These are creatures like fleas, ticks, mites that live on pets' skin and fur. How pets get parasites. Pets can ingest parasite eggs and larvae from contaminated soil, water, feces, or by consuming infected prey like fleas and tapeworms. External parasites, fleas, ticks, mites, can be picked up from the environment, from other animals, or even through contact with contaminated items. Why parasite prevention is important. Parasites can cause various health problems in pets, including anemia, weight loss, and skin issues. Human health. Some pet parasites can be transmitted to humans. Zoonotic, 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 causing illness like roundworms and hookworm infections. Prevention, regular deworming, flea and tick control, and good hygiene practices can help prevent parasite infections in pets and protect both pets and humans. And nowadays, your pet could go outside and get bird flu. Your pet could get bird flu and come back and you could get it. They could get something that can a flu that can go over to humans, these zoonotic sicknesses, okay? Like some people claim COVID was. Like some people claim COVID was. So, pets, I would say, for the ultimate health, I would say pets ain't no good unless you really want to consider what you got to do. And so, if you got a pet, if I was you, I'd put booties on my pet when I walk them. I wouldn't walk my pet barefoot. Or I would have some type of deworming water that when they got to step in before they come in the house. But I would just put booties on them. And when they come in the house, I would just throw the booties in the washing machine or in something in the sink. I would have something that'll soak them in and just rinse them out. Something that's going to kill anything that's in them. And then I would always spray my animals with a natural substance that naturally repel fleas. So before I took my dog out, I'd spray it and take it outside. Something fleas don't like. So don't fleas won't even jump on my dog or nothing like that. And I would deworm my dog all the time. My dog cannot get on the couch. My dog cannot get on the bed. That some people too dirty and nasty for dogs. You let your dog get on the bed. You let your dog get all on the couch. For me, a pet got to stay in a pet's place. That's why you got a dog bed. That's why you got a cat bed. Go lay on your bed. Now, with a cat, it's a little more difficult because cats want to be around you. They want you to rub them and climb all on you. But I don't let dogs get on me. I don't let my dog get on me. I don't let a dog lick me. None of that. I don't do any of that type of behavior with a dog. My dog is a dog. It's not a human being. I don't want my dog licking on me. Bro, you eat dog food. Don't put your mouth on me. You eat dog food. You lick stuff. Dogs put their mouth anywhere. You let them turn back, come back and lick you. So everybody can't have no dog. Now, as far as a pet, for you to have some type of social, yeah, but you got to, like I say, you got to go hard on the deworming and you got to go hard on the parasites. If you're willing to go hard on the parasites, cool. If you're willing to go get the plant-based powders and stuff to put down on your carpets and to put on your stuff, you'll be fine. And on yourself. So if you got dogs that would be outside, you need to spray yourself too when the dog come in the house. Spray your clothes. You want to make sure nothing hop on the dog or you or come back in the house. Whatever hops on the dog, you want to make sure it hops back off before you bring it in the house. Basically. Okay. Now, another thing you have to do for health for sure is work out. You got to work out. You have to. You have to work out. You don't have to be fanatical, but you must. You must, you must, you must, you must, you must work out. Why? Because typically in life, we have a tendency to use the same muscles over and over again. And by living and doing pretty much the same thing, certain muscles never get used. So we have muscles that over 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, they don't get used. Well, in order for your arm to really work as good as it got to work, all the muscles have to be up to par. In order for your back to work for you, all the back muscles have to be up to par. In order for your legs to get the most out of it, all the leg muscles have to be up to par. And working out shows you which muscles ain't that great. I mean, if you go to the gym where they got machines and you use certain machines, you'll notice you're going to be strong in certain exercises on certain machines. And other machines, you're going to be whack because that muscle don't get no attention. And so that's what's great about the gym and these machines, targeting, because we don't know much about muscles. You know, I mean, I don't. I went and worked out with my cousin, and I was more stiff than ever because he had me targeting muscles that I didn't know anything about. I didn't know anything about those muscles he had me targeting. You know what I'm saying? He had me doing exercise I never would have did. Because I didn't know nothing. I didn't know anything about those muscles. And I got to go with him again because I forgot what he had me doing. But for sure, what he had me doing, all the time I go to the gym, I'm never that stiff. So what that tell you? I'm never that stiff when I go to the gym. But when I went to the gym with him and I came back, man, I had soreness in my muscles everywhere, which I like that because that means the muscle got to work out. But he had me doing stuff that I don't do. And that's a problem. So he had me doing things I don't do. And I need to do those things that I don't do. And I need to get those muscles active that I don't know much about. That's why sometimes you got to have somebody help you train to be aware of just how many muscles it is. And there is slight adjustments you have to do to target those muscles. Like when you're lifting weights, there's just minor changes in how you lift them, changes the whole muscle it targets. You are 1 billion, trillion, zillion, billion, zillion percent correct, Angela. Angela, you are a billion, trillion, million, zillion, gadillion, a billion percent correct. Okay? You're about as correct as ever. because you already know that I'll order a pizza, a plant-based pizza, and eat it. And the last thing I'm finna do after I eat a pizza is exercise. I have to have my mind right, Angela, to be able to eat a pizza and say, let me go do something. See, now I know that. If I eat the pizza, I got to do something. It don't have to be right away, but an hour, 2 hours later, or even the next day, I have to burn something. There's something got to be burned. So I got to do some type of calisthenics, take a walk, something. I can't just let that pizza just sit in there and swell me up. You are a billion, trillion percent correct. And you know what, Angela? Sometimes we don't even never focus on health. I ain't gonna lie. You get out of school, you had gym and stuff like that, and then a lot of times health never crossed your mind. You got a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and you're going to the movies. You got to go to work. You're going to work. You're coming home. You're cooking. You're watching TV. You may be hanging out with your lover, and this is just every day. Every day, it's like exercise will never cross your mind because as a child, technically, I wasn't exercising. You know what I mean, Angela? So as a young person, technically I wouldn't exercise. I was just playing baseball. I was just playing basketball. I was just riding my bike. I didn't realize riding my bike is exercise. So as we get older, you're not riding your bike, you're not running, you're not playing hide and go seek, you're not jumping, you're not swinging on the swings, you're not doing that. As you grow up and don't do that, you never realize all of that was exercise. I didn't realize I was exercising. I'm 9 years old. I tell Richard, you want to race? Yeah. Boom, I race. Somebody say, I'll race you. We get right back in line and race the next person. Then we get in line and race the other person. We don't even, you know what I'm saying? And we don't realize this racing, this running, this playing hide and go seek, trying to run back to get free, tag. Girls jumping rope, jumping rope, jumping rope, volleyball, basketball, football. We don't realize we're exercising. We just playing football. We don't realize we're exercising. I'm just riding my bike. And so now when you get older, you're not playing tag, you're not playing hide and go seek, you're not riding a bike, you're not at the basketball court every day, you're not playing baseball, football, all this. You're grown. You're going to work for 8 hours. That 8 hours you at work, you would have been playing basketball. You would have been running. We get out of school at 3 o'clock. We get out of school at 3 o'clock. Mama get home at 5. From 5 to 9 or 10, it's up. We outside. Burning a lot of energy. But as an adult, you get off at 5, you get home at 6. You're not because you got 7, 8, 9. And now you got to start thinking about getting ready to sit back and watch maybe your last TV show and when you're going to go to bed because you got to get back up tomorrow morning at 6 or 7. So there's no exercise in there with a 9 to 5. Not really. I mean, I was strong at 40. I was exercising a lot and I got strong and built a lot of muscles. But I started a record label. I got remarried. I was married. I was in a relationship. I had a daughter, and exercise disappeared. It was just too much going on. Exercise like never crossed my mind. My plate was so full that I would have had to be conscious about exercising, and I would have had to consciously fit it into my schedule. So knowing what I know now, I would have took weights to the studio. If I knew what I knew now, I would have took weights to the studio, and while they listening to the track, writing their lyrics or whatever, I could have been in there hitting the barbells. I could have had them hitting the barbells till it's time to do their verse. We could have been adding some physical activity in the studio, but I didn't know no better. I didn't know. So you make a great point, sweetheart. But look at all these muscles. Now, you know, when we get older, you know a lot of these muscles we not using. You already know a lot of these muscles we not using. And so my philosophy, if you want to know my personal philosophy, I'm 67. I'm looking at it like this. I'm about to be 68 in February. Now, do I want to live or do I want to die? Do I want to be mobile? Because now I have to really think, okay, how do you want to be at 70? How do you want to be at 75? I can't just sit on my ass and turn 75. I have to think, okay, am I going to be able to stand up and sit down at 75, at 79, at 85? In order to do that, I got to practice that. I can't just sit here and let age catch up with me like that. And I haven't been standing up. I haven't been sitting down. I haven't moved none of these or exercised none of these muscles. And these muscles is dying off more and more and more. I have to use these muscles. I have to stand up and be able to stand up and sit down, stand up and sit down, walk without being all wobbly. Because when you start to age and you're not exercising and you're not taking care of your wellness, you get wobbly, you lose your teeth, you lose your eyesight, you lose your hearing, you lose your balance, you lose your sex drive, sometimes your mind, because you haven't put no nutrition in your body and you haven't exercised. And that donut that you eating at 70, you've been eating that damn donut since you was a kid probably. You can't eat that donut for no 60 years. You can't eat that candy 60 years. You can't eat them hot dogs and that processed meat for no 50, 60 years. You cannot. You cannot. You can eat grapes that long. You can eat watermelon like that, cantaloupe, walnuts, kale, collard greens, mustard greens, cabbage, spinach. You can eat like that. But you can't eat no baked pies and stuff like all them pies that you done ate so much you realize that you done ate this pie too much. It's not like you had this pie every now and then. It's been a part of your life for how long? How much cake can you eat before you be caked up? You be cakey. Now here's some exercise. If you get older, you need to, do some chair squats where you don't go down, put no pressure on your knees. Lay on the ground, do some lateral raises, do some tricep. Get you some barbells for sure. Get you some barbells. I got these tens just recently. Get you some barbells. I got these tens. You might have to get fives. I got tens, I got 15s, and I got 20s. And I make sure I don't put too much strain on my elbows or my wrist or my shoulder. So I use the size that allow me to not really hurt myself. So these tens is for like curls. right? So I could get the most curls. Now, if I get a whole lot of curls out these 10s, then I'll get the 15s so it's easy. But I don't want to curl the 15s right away. I'll use the 15s for something else that I can do easily. I use the 20s for presses like that. This is too light for that. I use these for that. Well, no, these are 15s. So these 15s I use for something different. 10s, 15s. The 15s I'll use for something different. And the 20s I use for, whoop, 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 like that, where I can get, you know what I'm saying? So I use the 20s for something totally different. So I got the 3 different sizes that allow me to do various workouts, no strain on my body. And I use the proper weights that are difficult for certain exercises, right? So, like this exercise, the tricep, right? I would use this for that. I can do this. So I would use this for that. But if it was a little too heavy, then I would use the 15s. But I could use the 20s because I've already been working with the 20s, so I'm kind of strong right now. I would lay down and I would do the 20s like this. And when I first started, I would do like 20 of these. Then it got up to 25. And I kept doing 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, I kept doing 25. Then it went up to 50. But when I would get to 50, I would be like, take a break at 40. 41. And you're right. And by the time I get to 50, I would be like, 58. I mean, I would be like, 48, 49, 50, right? And I did that for months. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm like, boom, 60. I'm like 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Boom. But I be at my end now at 60. Couple more months, I'll be at 70. Couple more months, I'll be at 80. Couple more months, I'll be 90, then 100. When I get to 100, I'll order some 25s. Then I would use those for that, the 25s, and then I would begin to use the 20s for something different because I'll be stronger. So now the 20s, I'll be able to do more with the 20s. But that's helping me with my breathing, and that's building up my chest muscles and everything so I don't be old and fragile. I want to be strong. I'm skinny, but I still want to be strong. To carry my weight around, not to look strong, but to live and be able just to move. I want to be able to move. I want to move the same way I moved when I was 30. The same way I moved when I was 40. I don't want to move like I'm 70. I don't want my muscles to be messed up. I don't want a wheelchair. I don't want to be getting up like, I don't want to do that. And then that's helping my mental health and the way I'm talking, the way I'm thinking, the working out, speeding up everything. It's making my total life faster instead of slower at my age. So August, we're going to be pushing that all this month. We're going to be pushing. This is Wellness Month. And that's what I'm going to be pushing over here. Because health is wealth. Health is wealth. So you got to take care of yourself. Ain't no getting around that. You have to. Health is wealth. So please focus on your health. Don't let nobody tell you nothing else. Clean up the way you're eating. Eat better. Eat better. Eat better. Focus on your health when you're young. And make sure every decade you put some energy into your health. Don't let a whole decade go by. You know what I'm saying? Focus, like, don't let no decade go by. Make sure you do it in your 20s. Make sure you do something. You don't have to do it every day of your life. But you want to make sure you're up to par. Once you're up to par, you don't turn around and get just back out of shape that quick. So make sure somewhere in your 20s that you don't let 20 to 30 go without some type of exercise. Then 30 to 40, somewhere in there, work out. It doesn't have to be every day, but it have to be somewhere in there where you spend 3 or 4 years in every decade to make sure you're good. Somewhere in your 40s, somewhere in your 50s, somewhere in your 60s. See, in my 50s, I didn't exercise somewhere in my 50s. I did in my 40s, but I let the whole 50s go by. That was a mistake. If I would have did just 2 or 3 years working out in my 50s, I would have been stronger in my 60s. So health is wealth. Take care of yourself. All right? And thanks for watching and support the channel. Your support is much appreciated, right? You see it scrolling at the bottom. Support the channel, the Super Chat, the Cash App, the PayPal. Support the channel, right? Go to www.veganintel.com. Get the easiest way to become a vegan. And take care of yourself. Health is wealth. So take care of yourself, all right? V is for victory and for go vegan.